Let's talk about feeling stuck, feeling isolated, feeling cut off. They're all kind of like synonyms for the same thing happening, just different ways of trying to explain the same thing within this human experience. And this is such a common thing for you to be going through, especially when you start going through an awakening. You start asking different questions, you start seeing things differently, you start seeing yourself differently, you start feeling into what you really want, like feeling into your most authentic expression, however that may be. You start peeking through the veil, you start seeing dysfunctional dynamics, become very aware of your own dysfunctional dynamics. When you start to see yourself in a really clear way, and when I say clear way, no more distortion, no more fakeness, no more pretense, but really looking directly into your soul and seeing for yourself how you truly are in this moment through the eyes of love and compassion, and just seeing every aspect of yourself, looking into what you no longer want, what no longer serves you. And it's through this process you'll start to notice that maybe you're thinking differently to the majority of people around you. You might start to notice that people aren't kind of vibing where you're at, or what you're doing, or how you are viewing the world, yourself and the world at large. It may feel very peripheral to what's in your objective external world. And it's with this massive shift that we start to kind of feed into and create this feeling of stuckness, feeling stuck, feeling isolated. And when we feel stuck, we get into this journey of battling, letting go, and frustration and resistance, the dance between expansion and contraction. Contraction leads us into more of the whole of feeling stuck. Expansion makes us open to possibility for what's next. And with our nervous system, this is all a nervous system thing going on. This expansion and contraction is very determined on where our nervous system is in any given moment. When we go into a state of contraction, we're probably experiencing some kind of shutdown, some kind of fight or flight, very much in our heads. We're detached from our body. Everything's kind of fast-paced going on within us. And when we lead ourselves into a state of, say, shutdown, that's when we really start to experience deeper degrees of cut-offness and disconnection. It almost feels like the dark night of the soul, those qualities as well, when we start to ask these questions, and we start to feel that we're almost lacking purpose, disconnectedness. And it all leads us to feeling very, very isolated in our feeling, in our thinking, in our being. And it's the journey of rediscovering new aspects of ourselves, the journey of healing through past wounds, which are all adding to this feeling of disconnectedness and isolation. And with this like birthing moment, navigating that void-like space of things falling away and then going into this the birthing of your new self, it very much comes with that resistance and the feeling of being isolated and disconnected. There's going to be moments when nothing makes sense. There's going to be lots of moments when nothing makes sense. There's going to be a real feeling of almost getting into a position where we're blaming God. We start to blame, and we have this inward battle that's kind of like aimed towards our Creator. We get frustrated. We want to be further ahead. We have a little child within us, our inner child, which gets us riled up. that says things like, I should be further ahead. I'm not connected to anyone around me. Why doesn't anyone understand me? And we create this like inner vortex of unfolding within us. And we get very limited in our vision, which all adds to this feeling of disconnectedness, this feeling of isolation. And it's self-perpetuating. It's like an energy field that we consciously and majoritively unconsciously feed into. It's what we've got to expect to experience when we have a rebirth moment. Letting go of that old story is very confronting. It's a confrontational path. It's very, very confrontational. There's going to be lots of discord along the way. Lots of discord unfolding. And we've got to use these moments to deepen our faith. We've got to come back. We've got to find somehow to anchor ourselves in the moment. We've got to take a breath. We've got to try and take a moment when we can. We've got to forgive ourselves. We've got to allow ourselves. We've got to shower ourselves with love when we can. Because once we do that, we start to break the cords of extreme resistance, which are all adding to this feeling of disconnectedness and isolation. It's such a powerful part of the process, such a powerful part of the journey. It's to be expected. Do you feel shut off right now? Do you feel disconnected from what's going on in your life? Are you struggling with your purpose at the minute? Are you struggling with just where you are, navigating this in the moment, in the eternal now moment? It's time to uncover what's going to help you along this path, this process that you're in now, to find those tools and tricks which can break that cord, that can start to really nurture and tend to your nervous system. What is your soul speaking to you now? How is your soul communicating with you now in the moments of loneliness and disconnection? What is the voice that is the backdrop of those moments? What is there to be learned from those moments? When we're in the pits of what could feel like despair, there's often a still small voice which is there, but we have to listen out for. We have to be very careful because it's such a delicate voice, the soft, still voice within us. And when we're in those moments of heavy resistance, it becomes quieter and quieter and quieter. So we have to encourage ourselves when we can, just to take a moment, take a breath, to listen out for that voice, to help us spiral out of this deep feeling of disconnectedness. Sending you so much love, my friend, wherever you are on your journey right now. And know, wherever you are, nothing is permanent. The permanent part of you, the eternal part of you, is love. It is love, love, love. That's the only permanent thing. Now, that could be quite confrontational to hear when you're in that moment of despair. But once you start reframing those moments as, this is just temporary, what I'm experiencing now. This is not the eternal self. This is not my eternal self. This is not my eternal self. And that's a moment of surrender right there. That's the quiet, subtle, beautiful prayer which facilitates the moment of surrender. Even just finding a mantra like that, this is not my eternal self. This is not my eternal self. It is transitory, but the mind will drag it out to make it feel like it's an eternal process. The construct of the mind will make out that it's how we're going to be forever when we get deep in that moment. But just to say a few words, this is not my eternal self. Anything that resonates with you in that moment with a calm, conscious breath can be extremely beneficial. Sending you so much love, my friend, and I'll see you in the next video.